Thanks, Mark. All right. I'll start with you. That way it wouldn't take me. That's all the biggest thing.
Now I find a different way. Oh, okay.
If they actually You'll probably not going to get that for that, if you get it the data. Okay.
You need a 3, 2, 1 now?
Yeah.
You ready?
I am. You can talk.
Good evening. Welcome to the January 2026 Paducah Independent School District Board of Education meeting. Dr. Shively, and as you all know in the room, first meeting this year, we reorganized the board, and so we start with the superintendent with the call order. And so, Madam Secretary, we do a roll call, please.
Sure. Dr. Koji?
Here.
Ms. Hancock? Here. Ms. Howard? Here. Dr. Levine?
Here.
And Ms. Watson?
Here.
Ms. Watson.
Thank you.
Can you turn the camera on? Joe, can you?
You got it.
Mr. Hall now, I think. We'll work on this. Madam Secretary, status quo?
Yes.
All right, do I have a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
Madam Secretary, call the roll.
Dr. Koji?
Yes.
Ms. Hancock? Yes. Ms. Howard? Yes. Dr. Levine?
Yes.
Ms. Watkins?
Here.
Yeah. For those of you here, Ms. Watkins had a flight that got delayed into Nashville, and she's trekking back here at the moment. So thank you for being on. It's a great honor I get to do this. Old Shively, would you please lead us to the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty, justice for all.
Before we move to item 3.0, as you all know, January is Public School Board Recognition Month. And just want to say a few things about our Board of Education. Paducah Board of Education has over 73 years of board member service in this community, which is outstanding. Each of our board members have students either enrolled here and or graduated from Paducah Tillman, and are very proud of that and of having Tillman alums. Obviously, our board members serve throughout the year tirelessly, focused on student achievement, our staff, the culture of our staff, and how we best serve this community. Just the enormous amount of time and energy that they spend always asking, is this excellent? Constantly asking, do we know children by name and need, which is a great reminder of the focus of our district with our vision. They've done this always without taking any payment. As you all know, that board members can be paid, and I think it's historic that that's never happened here. Thank you all for that. I don't think you all, honestly, don't think you all get enough credit as the elected members of this community for the success our students have each and every year. And I don't think the credit always goes to you all, and so thank you all for that. And finally, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to smile to say this, for 12 years now, as superintendent of this district, or 11 and a half and 12 days, I guess, when I meet people across the Commonwealth and they find out that I'm superintendent of Paducah Independent Schools, the first thing they say to me is, man, y'all have a great board. And I think that's something our community needs to know and understand. It's not just here, it's across the Commonwealth. The respect you all have and the focus you have for students and our staff. So thank you all for that. So, yeah. Now we'll move to item 3.0. I have election of Board of Education chair, and so I have any nominations for a chair.
I nominate Dr. Carl Moon for board.
Dr. Lou's been nominated. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
That was quick. Any other nominations? Hearing none, Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Dr. Turkey?
Yes.
Ms. Hancock? Yes. Ms. Howard?
Yes.
Dr. Levine?
Yes.
Ms. Watkins?
Yes.
All right, Dr. Boone, your meeting.
Okay, item 3.2, this is our election of the vice chair of the board. Is there a motion from the board for a vice chair?
Okay.
Yes.
I'll nominate
Excuse me, nomination.
Amina Watkins as vice chair.
There's a nomination from Dr. Okoji for Amina Watkins to serve as vice chair. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Are there any other nominations from the board? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Dr. Turkey?
Yes.
Ms. Hancock? Yes. Ms. Howard? Yes. Dr. Levine?
Yes.
Ms. Watkins?
Yes.
All right. I guess that means you accept your nomination. If you vote yes. So, we'll move on to item 4. Congratulations. We'll move on to item 4.1, the attendance report for Troy Broad, Director of Pupil Personnel.
Thank you. Dale's just going to interfere. There we go. There we go. All right, so good evening, everyone. This evening, I'm going to be reporting to you month 4 attendance. We did push back our December attendance report to this month, but I only do have month 4. Month 5, I believe, just recently concluded. So that's going to be, again, a month late. But I am going to report to you November 5th through December 4th, so a little while back, 19 instruction days total. And as always, I'd like to start with our overall percent attendance, as you can see on the screen, showing you the overall attendance for the month as well as the trends throughout the year. What I do want to highlight to you is McNabb Elementary. You can see is that light green line on the screen up there at 95.5%. And so they have actually, from that time where you see all the others dipping down, except for choices there, I'm going to talk about that in a second. But where everybody else kind of dipped down, they held on and actually improved 0.29%, so almost 1/3% from month 3 to month 4, and held on to that. You'll also notice the choices there crisscrossed over with Tillman at 90.52%. In talking to administration over at Choices, I want to highlight some things that, in case you're wondering what's going on, some really good things are going on at Choices. First off, when they do have the transition meetings with students and families, they do review those expectations of Choices. So as Ms. Shonda always says, expectations set or expectations met. And so that's communicated early on and continually. Students also have behavior contracts and set goals at those transition meetings as well. And they make it a collaborative effort with the family. It's not, us telling them or, us telling the families what we're going to do, but it really is a collaborative effort. And at that time, they offer school-based services for mental health counseling, which often is, how often would you say this, I believe, that's accepted?
Usually weekly.
Yeah, I mean, are they, for the most part, the families are accepting of it, and they're not, yeah, so that's another thing is just families understanding that, this is a service that we can provide for their children. Also, one of the changes is making sure that days missed. If a student is absent on a given day, we don't count that as a day towards any kind of placement, as it's not a quote-unquote successful day. And so those days get added on at the end of the placement to make sure that they either fulfill that. And I'll talk about what else can happen, though, as a positive side of that. Before I do, one thing I want to highlight is, and I know Ms. Shively will echo this because she was so adamant about it, is Ms. Moore. Ms. Keisha Moore, guidance counselor at Choices, has been phenomenal. She goes above and beyond in her words. She's been outstanding. So that is she is a great asset to have in that position.
There's also having an alternative diploma track. I know the board agreed to that several years ago, maybe around 10 years ago. Having that alternative diploma track is very helpful for those students that are falling behind their cohort class when they arrive in high school with. And finally is giving incentives to students to do well by shortening, in some cases, shortening the placement. We have had about 4 students. It's hard to achieve, but we have had about 4 students this year at Choices that have been able to be placed back at their homeschool placement because of the efforts that they made while they were in the alternative school. So I do want to bring that to highlight and strong belief as to why you see this traditional, maybe what we've seen in the past, roller coaster curve start to climb back up. Next is enrollment, and as you can see, we do have a slight number. Honestly, I would say this is it's been fairly stable from month 3 to month 4. You see a decrease there from 2756 to 2743. Decrease of 14, and 10, we had 10 graduates in that time frame as well at the high school. So we do see the change occurring just mainly for positive reasons. We do have several students that graduated, and I'll report this next month, but here at the turn of the holiday into the 2026 year, what we're seeing is some movement, more movement. A lot of movement takes place over the Christmas break. So those numbers are going to bounce around, but overall, just anecdotally, I can say that I've seen more coming than going. So hopefully that trend stays with us for a little while. And then finally, the attendance chart that you can see, just some highlights I want to point out to you, is that our overall enrollment, while down, we have 119 down compared to last year. The overall percent attendance, as you can see, between 93.07 and 92.8 versus last year, we're up 0.25% in our overall attendance, even though our enrollment is down and our ADA is down. So with a decrease of 119 students overall, we're only feeling the effect ADA-wise, and I know it doesn't sound positive, but 93.4 is ADA is what we're down. So we're not experiencing or feeling that full 119 student enrollment decrease in terms of our ADA. So we are kind of holding on where we can there and improving. And when I say improving, I'm talking about our attendance, overall percent attendance. You can see that it's at 94.33%. That is up 0.28% cumulatively from where we were last year. So overall, some positives there and some areas of growth that we would certainly continue to search after. Any questions?
I have one for maybe for Ms. Shively, but what's Keisha Moore doing? What are the specific things that she's doing that's, helping you, and what are you doing? Because it's both of you, I think. I mean, that's a huge increase in attendance.
She is, for lack of better words, making kids want to be at school. So that is one of the biggest things. We are doing a deal group with our kids all the way to K as well. We have daily contact. We have team meetings for our virtual place students. We are meeting with parents consistently, teachers are checking in consistently. It's kind of keeping that line of communication open, but kids do want to be there, so that's huge.
Are you having a hard time contacting the parents or their with people who are taking care of the grandparents, whoever or has that been?
It's been relatively easy, because we have those ILTA meetings on the front end, face-to-face, and we only do them over the phone as a last resort. If there's just no other way, if someone's at work and has to step out on the lunch break or something that happens to me. And we've found that between the two of us, we know most of our families and their kids, so we have a really good and strong line of communication home. So that's very helpful. And talking points help things with that. If they are at work and can't answer their cell phone, we can send messages over talking points. So it's just constant dialogue back and forth. It's very helpful.
You're showing them you care if they're there or they're not there.
We're going to do more steps if they're not.
That's great. Are there any other questions from the board? Thank you. Congratulations on that progress too. Next item on our agenda is item 4.2, student achievement, Will Black, Assistant Superintendent.
All right, good evening.
Good evening.
Tonight, as we do every year, we are going to provide an update on our post-secondary readiness rate at Tillman, and this is our effort to ensure that as many graduates as possible graduate college or career ready. These days we call it post-secondary readiness, and you'll see we also use the word academic readiness, and that is just another way of saying college readiness. So basically still college and career readiness with a new name. Okay, so this is our January percentage, and I've shown you 4 years. You can see we're holding pretty steady with past years. This is not a perfect comparison because the denominator of these percentages, the total number of students, is just a projection. We don't exactly know exactly how many kids are going to graduate by the end of the year, and they're not counted for post-secondary readiness if they do not graduate in that year. So we're just it's just an estimate. So it's a little bit difficult to compare year over year. We want this number to be around 70% to know we're on track to hopefully beat our record next year. We would like, obviously, we're always shooting above 70% even in January, but we're about where we want to be to continue to expand our post-secondary readiness rate. Here you can see this is as of January also. And these percentages, once again, are somewhat of an estimate of where we are right now because it depends on who ends up graduating. But as of right now, what our projection is these percentages. You can tell we still do have an achievement gap, but that gap is, I'm pretty confident based on past years, we're going to narrow that gap by the end of the year, just like we have in the past. And then here is free and reduced lunch, students who receive free and reduced lunch versus students who do not receive free and reduced lunch, who pay for their lunch. And actually in our district, no one pays for their lunch because we're a CEP district, Community Eligibility Provision District, but we are, but we still track that number. So what are we doing? What is Tillman really focused on? Number one, they have, in the past couple of years, they have really focused their senior English and math courses on academic readiness or college readiness for those who are not college ready. And that has proven to be very effective. So kids are getting ready. The ones who weren't ready by the end of their junior year are getting ready pretty quickly in their senior year. And we also do pull-out interventions to help kids prepare for career readiness exams. And in the last couple of years, we've experimented with this, and it's worked out pretty well, and we're excited to expand early career certifications. And what that means is, we can, with certain types of career certifications, we can certify a student even in their freshman or sophomore year. And so we're doing that. For example, the allied health certification can be taken at a younger age, and so we're encouraging kids and creating opportunities for kids to take that at an earlier age. That just sets them up in the future for more certifications or more advanced certifications, but they're considered career ready. The last thing we're doing is work-based learning certifications. This is a new option that's come in the last couple of years for the state, where we can, a student can become career ready based on their work in a field that they're focused in. So if they go out and do work, they have to get a certain number of hours and they have to achieve, you know, certain ratings from their supervisor indicating that they are proficient at the task that they're being assigned to do, but that actually can lead them to a certification. So the industry partner is actually providing that feedback, and the student is providing the number of hours. So if they do good work that's approved by their industry, our industry partner, they can become certified that way. So these are new ways to become career certified that allows for some flexibility. This really helps with kids who might not be in a traditional path. So for instance, kids who are doing credit recovery for a period of long period of time. Choices students potentially could do more work-based learning certification. So these are good opportunities for the future. We are in the process of expanding that as we go. Any questions? Thanks.
Thank you. Next item on our agenda is item 5.1. This is an opportunity for oral communications from the audience regarding items which are included on tonight's agenda. Hearing none, we'll move on to item 5.2. This is an opportunity for oral communications from the audience regarding items not included on tonight's agenda. Hearing none, we'll move on to item 6.0, consent agenda. Is there a motion from the board to approve the consent agenda?
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
No, second.
Are there any questions from the board? Call the roll, please.
Dr. Stuckey?
Yes.
Ms. Hancock? Yes. Ms. Howard? Yes. Dr. Levine?
Yes.
Ms. Watson? Thank you.
Item 7.1, draft budget. The superintendent recommends that the Paducah Board of Education acknowledge a formal review of the draft budget for 2026-2027, which is included under 7.1. Is there a motion from the board to approve item 7.1?
I'll make a motion to approve item 7.1, draft budget.
I'll second.
Are there any questions from the board? Ms. Watkins, can you hear us okay?
I can.
Okay. There's a motion and a second to approve the draft budget. If there are no questions, call the roll, please.
Dr. Stuckey?
Yes.
Ms. Hancock? Yes. Ms. Howard?
Yes.
Dr. Levine?
Yes.
Ms. Watkins?
Yes.
Item 7.2, new stipend. The superintendent recommends that the Paducah Board of Education approve the new supplemental stipend of $3,000 for career and technical education coordinator to be funded with CTE supplemental funding, project code 106M, and be equally divided among the departments. Is there a motion to approve this new stipend?
I'll make a motion to approve the new stipend.
I'll
I'll
second.
second.
There's a motion and a second. Are there any questions from the board? Call the roll, please.
Dr. Stuckey?
Yes.
Ms. Hancock? Ms. Howard?
Yes.
Dr. Levine?
Yes.
Ms. Watkins?
Yes.
Item 7.3, grant resolution. The superintendent recommends that the Paducah Board of Education approve a resolution authorizing participation in the Economic Development Administration 2025 Disaster Supplemental Grant. Is there a motion to approve item 7.3?
I'll make a motion to approve item 7.3, grant resolution.
I'll second.
There is a motion and a second. Other questions from the board? Call the roll. Go ahead.
Do you want to give me
Yes.
a few of the specifics on this?
Sure.
This is a regional grant application with other public school districts and some of our local colleges as a part of it. Overall, it's up to, I believe, $60 million. And for our district, the vision we have is how we would add an addition onto the Paducah Innovation Hub. And so if you walk outside of the seminar room and go past the bathroom, go out that way a little bit, and then straight back towards the football field, it's right at 20,000 square foot addition to that, and it would allow us to add an electrical pathway, in addition to that, an HVAC pathway with a plumbing emphasis, and then above it, build out what we already have in computer science, but be able to truly teach AI as part of that pathway, and give us a virtual makerspace. And so right now, it's a tad bit under a $2 million request by our district as part of that grant. So super excited about it, and we think about all of the buzz we've had since, I guess, early August as far as uranium enrichment at the DOE site, now with the RFP for AI database, potentially part of national defense. When you boil that down, it's a lot about electricity, how we move electricity. And we have the DOE project with solar fields coming in, and the units that we're doing with our KA students and that, so if we just add onto that, and then if we have a large AI center, that's going to have to be cool. And I don't know if you probably want to talk about the community aspect of that, but when we engage our community, those are the two pathways that we continue to hear that we need to add to the building. So excited about that. Anything you want to add as far as electrical, HVAC, or plumbing?
No, we do know that, we've been told, the construction of the 2 uranium enrichment facilities will employ over 1,000 workers, and there's a huge shortage of electricians, not only in my region, but across the country. So the hope is to have that up and running and fill some of that workforce gap that we have. It's pretty exciting, and we're starting sort of our own infrastructure to build that knowledge all the way back to elementary schools using solar grants that we have. We've got teams working on project-based learning units now, and actually implementing the first one right now at elementary, middle, and high school. So we're excited to see how that's developed over the next year.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Why is it called the 2025 Disaster Supplement Grant? Just curious.
For lack of a better answer, I think that's how the federal government named it. It's coming through from the disaster recovery with, I believe, the tornado.
Yeah, it's related to all the tornado disasters that have happened in our region over the last few years, but it's through the Economic Development Administration that the grant will be funded.
Okay, thank you.
What is the timeline for the grant application and subsequent award?
The timeline for the grant application is the end of March for the Paducah Area Development District is the one that we're doing grant writing, so the information budget has been presented to them. We're still got a couple of things we're dialing in technology. So we're just going to get a couple quotes with that, but we're right at 9.6 million, 9.7 million with that. But that's including the writing, and I'm not sure of the award announcement on that. Ready to see?
It'll be in fall.
Okay. But it's exciting to join.
Yeah, that's great.
Huge need, pathways, and then complementing our computer science with a virtual makerspace for teaching AI in a safe environment for our children.
Are there any other questions from the board? Call the roll, please.
Dr. Coaching?
Yes.
Ms. Hancock?
Yes.
Ms. Howard?
Yes.
Dr. Levine?
Yes.
Ms. Watkins?
Yes.
Offer of assistance. The superintendent recommends that the Paducah Board of Education accept the offer of assistance in the amount of $31,675 from the School Facilities Construction Commission. This offer of assistance is to be used towards proposed construction of major renovation of facilities outlined in the current approved facility plan. there a motion to approve item 7.4?
A motion to approve item 7.4.
Are there any questions from the board?
Dr. Williams, can I ask something? I'm sorry,
Absolutely.
keep interrupting.
No.
Just maybe frame the importance of this each year. This is something we haven't offered since every year that we approve and match. But if you think to our district security camera system, that was a little over 1 point, I think I misspoke the other day in the interview, but it's about 1.5 billion. 700,000 of that project was from our SFCC in cash, and then we had another 450,000 in bonding potential from our offers of assistance that we approve every year. So it's just, I think that frames it pretty well relative to here's what we've been able to do by doing this the last several years.
Other questions from the board? Call the roll, please.
Dr. Turkey?
Yes.
Ms. Hancock? Ms. Howard?
Yes.
Dr. Levine?
Yes.
Ms. Watkins?
Yes.
Item 7.5, BG5 closeout document, Chaton Soccer Field Project BG 23152. Superintendent recommends that the Paducah Board of Education approve the BG5 project closeout form in the amount of $520,265.62 for the Chaton Soccer Fields project. Is there a motion from the board to approve item 7.5?
I'll make a motion to approve item 7.5, BG5 closeout document for the Chaton Soccer Field project.
Is there any questions from the board? That was all, that's a donation, correct?
Yes, sir. All of that money was donated through a private donor or our soccer booster club.
Soccer fields down there.
In addition to, let me say this, the city of Paducah, as far as the land, which in their vision for what they would do that. To the parks was 2 fields. We have the shared usage agreement with them, so they have 2 fields to use. We were able to put it together and go fast. Yeah, very blessed to have that.
Any questions from the board? Call the roll, please.
Dr. Turkey?
Yes.
Ms. Hancock? Ms. Howard?
Yes.
Dr. Levine?
Yes.
Ms. Watkins?
Yes.
Item 7.6, payments to contractors, Tillman Softball Complex, BG 25-157. Superintendent recommends that the Paducah Board of Education approves payments on the Tillman Softball Complex. And these are listed here: BFW Engineering, JRA Architects, pay app number 6. I should read the amounts. BFW is $789.10. JRA is $27,900.30. Pay application number 6 is $294,436.22. And then direct purchase orders for Eckerd Supply invoices $29,238.66. And Southern Concrete Products invoices, 2 invoices totaling $9,502.50. Is there a motion to approve item 7.6?
I'll make a motion to approve item 7.6, payment to the contractors for the Tillman Softball Complex.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Are there any questions from the board?
Looks great.
The videos that Vegas Farm Working put out last week were super exciting. I got a lot of texts and parents and all supporters just telling me how, awesome it was. Like, yeah, do you like it? And everyone's like, no, I love it. So, a lot of excitement.
Are you still thinking March?
We're still on pace for that. A lot of time between now and March, but we're moving in that direction. Excited that dugouts are done, concession stand, press box, bleachers were in last week, went in last week. Today I drove by and the supports for the pitching/batting cages. There's 2 of those on one side. Will be put in, but it's so much fun.
So this is really looking forward to March.
Yes, our
When I drove by the other day, it doesn't look as if March is the reality.
yeah, it's I can't remember our first game, but yeah, we're trucking for March right now. But it would be telling me hopefully that it would be, we weren't on that path.
We're getting our sun and warm weather in July, in January. Hopefully,
It could be snow covered over there, not much going on, so that's,
are there questions or comments from the board? If not, call the roll, please.
Dr. Stovey?
Yes.
Ms. Hancock?
Yes.
Ms. Howard?
Yes.
Dr. Levine?
Yes.
Ms. Watkins?
Yes.
Item 7.7, BG5, project closeout document, Tillman roof replacement project. I'm sure it says BG 25194. Is that a typo? BG5, 4BG
Yes.
25194. Superintendent recommends that the Paducah Board of Education approve the BG5 closeout form in the amount of $727,933 for the Tillman roof replacement project. Is there a motion to approve item 7.7?
I'll take a motion to approve item 7.7, the project closeout documentation for Tillman roof replacement project.
I'll second.
Are there any questions from the board? Call the roll, please.
Dr. Stovey?
Yes.
Ms. Hancock?
Yes.
Ms. Howard?
Yes.
Dr. Levine?
Yes.
Ms. Watkins?
Yes.
Item 7.8, BG5, closeout document energy savings project, BG 22-155. Superintendent recommends that the Paducah Board of Education approve the BG5 project closeout form for the energy savings project. A motion from the board to approve item 7.6. Excuse me, 7.8.
I'll make a motion to approve item 7.8, the closeout document for the energy savings project.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Are there any questions from the board? Call the roll, please.
Dr. Stovey?
Yes.
Ms. Hancock?
Yes.
Ms. Howard?
Yes.
Dr. Levine?
Yes.
Ms. Watkins?
Yes.
Item 7.9, payments to contractors, Paducah Tillman Fieldhouse, BG 22-067. Superintendent recommends that the Paducah Board of Education approve payments to contractors on the Paducah Tillman Fieldhouse project. Review pay application number 7 in the amount of $72,103, and payment to JRA Architects in the amount of $71,059.90. Is there a motion to approve item 7.9?
I'll make a motion we approve item 7.9, payment to contractors for the Paducah Tillman Fieldhouse.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any questions from the board? Call the roll, please.
Dr. Stovey?
Yes.
Ms. Hancock? Yes. Ms. Howard?
Yes.
Dr. Levine?
Yes.
Ms. Watkins?
Yes.
Item 7.10, fleet SRO vehicle purchase. The superintendent recommends that the Paducah Board of Education approve the purchase of 4 2017 Ford Explorers and 1 2016 Ford Explorer from the city of Paducah at a total not to exceed $37,550. Is there a motion from the board to approve item 7.10?
I'll make a motion to approve item 7.10, fleet SRO vehicle purchase.
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second. Charlie, any highlights about that?
yes, these are, former Paducah Police Department vehicles that, became available late last week. Tomorrow, Scotty Davis, I don't know that we, introduced him last month, but Scotty Davis is our district chief of police, say hi to everybody. He, along with our mechanic and, Ken Ryder, our transportation director, I believe, going to go view all 5 vehicles tomorrow. So we're doing this in case they meet our expectations. But as we've looked at other vehicles that are used across the Commonwealth, this is a great deal, and please do reach out and y'all have city school district, you'll have a request in, and we'd like to call you all first. So we're going to work through that tomorrow. That's why it's not to exceed.
Did they do them 90?
They are all right at 100,000 miles to 103,000 miles. So we'll we'll make a good decision. But they're already outfitted for police aspects. I think they've taken a few things off, but it's a need and it's local and it's a good number, but we want to make sure that we don't get by something and that's the money.
Sounds good.
Hey,
Are there
Dr.
other
Godley.
Yes, ma'am?
Yeah, does that include, changing the name on it, or is that just for the purchase?
That's just the purchase, or the city would have stickers on it that we could just get off, and then we have metal. They're gonna use the stickers, okay. So, they strip them down, and then we have the vehicle magnets, how we put them on the birds and others. We have a city school police, emblem that we could use.
Did you hear that, Ms. Washington? It sounds like the city identifications will be removed prior to the purchase.
Right.
Are there any other questions from the board? Call the roll, please.
Dr. Seuss?
Yes.
Ms. Hancock? Yes. Ms. Howard?
Yes.
Dr. Boone?
Yes.
Ms. Watkins?
Yes.
Is there a motion from the board to excuse into executive session for purposes of personnel and potential litigation? Is there a second?
Yes, call the roll.
Call the roll, please.
Dr. Seuss?
Yes.
Ms. Hancock?
Yes.
Ms. Howard?
Yes.
Dr. Boone?
Yes.
Ms. Watkins?
Yes.
May I
There we
say
go, everybody.
one thing?
Sure.
It's, with lots of pride that, this just went out as we're sitting here, that, the community now knows that Mr. Dietrich Kenny, Billings High School principal, has been named Kentucky High School Principal of the Year by the National Association of Secondary School Principals, and will compete at a national level in Washington, D.C. in April. I'm playing earlier today and talking about what great students we have and faculty, staff, and grad administration teams. Somebody's got to lead all that. So thank you and congratulations. Best of luck. As you go to do this.
Michael, bring it home.
I have not.
I've got the photo over here.
Okay.
Let me see if I can get there. Can I?